we're in New York for Mainnet, and today I'm with Brandon from Messari.
Yeah,
Hi,
thank you.
Brandon.
Thank you for having me, Mia. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we literally just grabbed him off the streets of Mainnet. I think this is a great opportunity to ask you, um, why do you like Messari so much, and how do you see the industry? But let's start with Messari.
Yeah, so I would say my background very quickly. I was an Army officer for about 10 years. Then I worked in traditional finance banking for a few years. And at the end of the day, I really saw that there are real inefficiencies with money, whether it's governments, banks, financial institutions, etc. There are real challenges to solve. We all love crypto. Everyone has fallen down the rabbit hole in a different capacity. But the beauty for me is that crypto allows us to solve real problems that exist in the industry, whether it's finance, private equity, hedge funds, etc. So that's kind of where I came at this from, where I saw that there were problems to solve and crypto presented real solutions. So
So, I mean, how did you go from the army to crypto? Like, how did you find out about it?
So I've talked to a few people about this week. I think at the end of the day, there's a real sense of service. People that are in this industry really believe in helping disenfranchised folks get better access to credit and opportunities and banking relationships. We believe that people should have access to their money, whether they're here in New York, or London, or Afghanistan. And so for me, that beauty of really serving people and helping them have a better life is real. And I think most of these people here today, whether they would say it or not, that is part of the ethos that brings people into crypto. I really believe that. So,
Yeah. As you decide to work in this industry, like, why Messari?
yep, great question. So, Masari to me, and what we say internally, is truly a single source of truth. From our data side, the way we contextualize, we're not here to shill or to editorialize or to create different types of fake data metrics. We just look at what the space has. We take that data, we share it with the world, and we really try to provide a transparent sense of truth to this industry, very much in the way that you would get in traditional finance with these types of quarterly reports and financial statements and compliance requests. Those are the things that we think crypto is lacking. We think consumers, builders, investors deserve that type of transparency, and Masari is really focused on delivering that to the space.
Yeah, but I mean, Messari is huge. How do you see your role within the company?
Sure. So there's two different sides to Masari today. There's the enterprise research side, where it's a B2B SaaS product. You can be a subscriber. That gives you access to the Masari platform, whether it's fundraising data, community governance, trading data, etc. I work on the protocol services side, where we go and partner one-to-one with protocol teams, and we curate data-driven research reports that help them with business development, investor due diligence, compliance requests, listing requests, etc. We're really trying to create almost bootstrapped crypto financial statements that are based on on-chain data that allow them to prove this is who we are from a data standpoint. So,
How do you see this industry evolving? What's your best hope for this industry?
sure. So my hope is that we continue to cover every protocol in the space. We have lots of peers that are focused in a very similar direction, and at the end of the day, the space just needs to be more open, more transparent. Really believe that the goal of this is to integrate ourselves with traditional finance,
Yeah.
which is trillions of dollars of capital, real businesses, real GDP growth, real individuals that go to work every day and provide for their families. That is the future that we need to believe in and integrate ourselves with, because these conferences are amazing. We love them. We can't all just do the same thing every month, same pool of money and the same people. We need to attract talent. We need to attract real world capital. And our view is that being open and transparent and really sharing things broadly is the best way to build towards that future. So
Increase the trust in the industry, hopefully.
that's right.
Do you think that Messari helps like people be better prepared for like Black Swan events?
It's a great question. I think, to my point earlier, these products that we create, because they're based on truth and transparency, they can be used by anyone. So an investor can take them and have a better sense of diligence on a company. Regulators should read these reports and get a better sense of what's happening broadly across the industry and what's happening with protocols individually. And yeah, the same way that traditional financial institutions, they create these financial statements and they share things so that people can see this is what's happening with JP Morgan or Bank of America. And then that allows you to make an informed decision of, do I want to use that bank? Do I want to invest in that bank's stock? Do I want to, refer my friends to this bank? That's the type of progress that we're trying to make in the crypto space because we are a new industry and there's a lot of growing pains. These things take time, but we think building in the right direction by being transparent is the best way to get there as fast as possible.
Yeah. Like from your perspective, how would you call like this phase that we're at, like in like this year?
Sure.
Everyone asks this question. I think for you specifically, I mean, I don't know how much insight you have within the company, but how would you define this moment in time?
Growth pains, a little bit.
Okay.
I think we have built a tremendous amount of infrastructure. There's a tremendous amount of mind share that has, it has attracted all of us here to the space, but it's also infiltrated into TradFi, where banks are curious about crypto. Financial institutions and Web2 companies have crypto divisions, and though they may not talk about it today as much as they did in the last bull market, they still exist. And those companies are curious. They're building in a very slow and deliberate direction. And so at the end of the day, we're moving forward. And for most of us that have been in the space for some time, you weren't certain if crypto would live or die 6 years ago. Really, 3 years ago, you weren't quite certain. And at this point, I think all of us recognize this industry is here to stay. It's important. It really matters. And so, growth pains in the sense that we're moving in the right direction, but we really have to come together and decide as an industry, what does that look like? Does that look like an FTX type situation where we sort of make bad investment and uninformed decisions? Or do we say, we need to be transparent, we need to be open, we need to be honest if we see something that is maybe lacking in disclosure or honesty or transparency? I think it's incumbent upon leaders in the space to call that out and to be a little bit more prudent with where they spend their time and their energy. And at the end of the day, that should help us all get to where we want to go a little bit faster, a little bit more safely, and I really believe that. So
yeah, I mean, some of the people I've interviewed recently told me that this is 2020 and 2021 is on the horizon. Are you optimistic? Do you think that's what's gonna play out?
About
In a sense of like we're gonna have like a bull market next year.
So, there are lots of charts and statistics that get thrown around. At the end of the day, Bitcoin is truly the best performing asset of the past decade.
Okay.
And so pure financial performance, crypto has done well. In terms of the growth and the extrapolation of the space, I mean, it's real. Think about every time you log on to a financial application that you have, whether it's a decentralized exchange or a wallet or you use a lending protocol, things have gotten better every year. There is innovation in the space at an all-time level, and we're really starting to see the necessary infrastructure in place to start creating the real-world consumer apps that we've all been waiting for. So the poly markets of the world that allow us to start bridging into consumers that do not care about crypto at all, but they want to track the election by viewing what is happening on this, sort of day-to-day financial marketplace. I think that is the beauty of crypto, is it allows marketplaces to develop in all sorts of capacities that couldn't exist before because we didn't have microtransactions, we didn't have permissionless consensus to create these things. At the end of the day, everything humans do are social marketplaces together. And so I think we're in a good place. We're growing, we're steady, and we're all moving in the right directions.
Yeah, so optimistic. Okay, so you touched on politics. I'm curious your opinion. Some people will say like it doesn't matter, whatever way it goes, it's going to be great for crypto. Some people say like no, it actually matters. What's your take here?
So, non-partisan answer here. I think crypto as a constituency has really shown Washington that we care and we matter because we believe in this industry. And from a pure numerical standpoint, I can't remember the exact stat. I think it's something like 80 million people hold crypto in some capacity. There's like 40 to 50 million people in the US that have dogs. So when you start having people believing in crypto at a greater capacity than folks that believe in, their love of their dog, that's real. And I feel that Washington has seen that presence. And so whether we go left, right in the presidency or the Senate races, at the end of the day, this industry has proven itself that it wants to be transparent, it wants to integrate and move in the right direction. And so I do think that political parties aside, we're kind of at escape velocity now where regulators are taking notice and they understand that we have to get this right. And from my view, as a US-based citizen, it would be really wonderful to build and innovate here in America. That's what we did in Web 2, the internet revolution, and I think that's what we hope happens here in America as well.
Well, I hope so. For everyone watching, where can they find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at BR_Slack, Telegram at B_Slack. Messari.io is going to be the best place to find data and reporting. And I would just say, please reach out. We'd love to chat.
Yeah. Brandon, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mia. Appreciate it.
Hey, what's up?
This is
But
Zach.
it's not something Genzio is afraid of.
If you want to survive, you got to build a
How
hive.
many know who do not understand that we do not want to have?
Ladies and gentlemen,
We're back at the Genzio Media House.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us today.